Aloha! Welcome to another Mama Presents. I am here with two guys that you may have seen around and know already. Jose and John, say hello to our Maui audience.
Hello, Maui audience.
And all you guys all over the world.
And around the world, that's right. We may be on the net, huh?
Well, I would hope so.
Somebody will put a net over this whole thing.
Well, to tell you the truth,
The outer net.
The outer net.
these guys, you probably thought we were on Comedy Central, but no. In the people on this island probably have seen your two faces in so many ways in so many years. For example, at a local restaurant here, you were the quintessential sound engineer for the Charlies.
You made sounds at Charlie's?
I engineered them.
He was
That's
the
where I
engineer.
knew you from.
And Jose, you are, how would I know you? I remember
Joe
from-
Cano's Sly Dog, Crazy Fingers, Eric Gilliam, Amy Gilliam, Kelly Covington, sounds like Fulton Tashambi.
Louise Lambert's group.
Louise
Ray
Lambert's
Murphy's.
group. There's only two of us. She's great.
Well, you are a group by yourself.
He's a group of one.
Group of monkeys.
You know, when I first met you, I thought, what a fabulous drummer. You were just somebody who had just a tremendous sense of himself, comfortable with what he did, and you add in
Just
a
ask him,
whole
he'll tell
other
you.
element.
Yeah, I'm great. Just ask me.
Seriously.
Seriously, all the seriousness aside.
You know, you both of you. You know, when I see you, I recognize you're comfortable with your instruments, and you added an element of personality that sometimes you see musicians that are so boring. When they stop playing, there's not a lot of personality there.
Yeah.
But you guys are personality.
Yeah, we like to have fun.
I've seen you in different incarnations over the years, but recently, when you came to me with this project and said, we have a new album, there was so much life in you and so much excitement about what you're doing. I think we're at the time we need to do a show about the best of Zero Gravity.
That's
Now-
us. Ah! Ooh, 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 ooh.
Round of applause.
A round of applause. So we had to put this thing together because there was nowhere else to go here.
First of all, I think it's really, really significant. When I went on the internet, I thought, okay, let me see what's going on with you guys. I put in Zero Gravity and I said, wait, something's wrong. And then I realized you don't spell zero with a Z.
Or no.
Shut the front door.
Shut the front door. So you spell it XERO.
Zero.
Zero.
XER0. It's actually a zero.
So where did that come from?
Well, we went through a couple of incarnations kind of with it. It was actually ZERO to begin with. And we started running into various things like we couldn't find a domain name, it was already taken. So we were already starting to think, oh gosh, maybe, I mean, we had the name for
2 years.
almost 2 years. You know, everything on the computer was all zero gravity, you know, the whole thing was produced in that direction. And then we thought, oh gosh, we can't come out with it if we can't find a domain name, we have to. So, I was actually driving up Haleakala one
Great
day.
story.
And there was a bunch of old, discarded appliances on the side of the road. And spray painted on the side of one of these appliances was XER0.
Really?
And I thought, you gotta see this. So I took a picture with my phone, I sent it to these guys, and I said, I think we got the way we spell our name. So whoever did that, thank you very
Yeah,
much.
thank you.
Thank you very much.
That was a great thing.
Maybe they'll surface now. Maybe you're actually supporting a gang.
It's true. It's true.
It could be a Maui gang.
Could be.
A gang of
Zeros.
musicians.
It could be, yeah, a gang of zeros. I'm sure they wouldn't call themselves that. No,
No, but I mean,
No,
why
no.
would someone spray paint that on the side of anything unless they were already.
Named.
It was graffiti.
group.
I
Yeah,
mean,
graffiti.
it
It
was,
was graffiti.
but it was
But
on
it was a
touristy
sign.
things. It was on like a refrigerator and a
It was a
oven
sign.
and something.
Because
I
he
thought
was
it a
eating
sign.
at the time and he didn't want to drive and eat. So
It's
he
true.
pulled over and there it was.
It's true. I was
And
spilling
he
my
got-
sandwich and everything,
Boom.
and I wasn't looking. I had to stop and eat my sandwich.
And there it was.
And then right in front of me.
You get this sign from God, you know, I mean,
Huh?
there's always ways to, like for example, on this spaceship right
Now we're
here,
going to show you a closer picture of
on
this
the, on
album.
the album, there's a spaceship, that's where we live, that's where there's no pictures of us on here, see?
Oh.
And here's where we live in here, right there.
Oh.
Castle right there. Can only get there by invite and helicopter, of course.
Well, I was just going to say, that looks like a large rock,
It is a floating rock.
a floating
And it's on the
rock.
label as well, so you can't exchange this for an Ego album, the jewel case or anything. It's all one
As
package.
if you would want to.
Well, it would disintegrate if you put
That's
anything
true.
other than what's there. This is an outer space trip, so we need
Well-
to keep it that way. See if I can get this.
And
right.
if I was going to describe this music, I would describe it as, firstly, well put together. I guess you're the engineer that did most of the engineering on this, right?
I did, yeah, I did it all basically.
And you play bass
And write songs.
and write songs
He's
and
an
have
actor.
some lead vocals.
He's a comic,
And then
tap dancer.
That's true though. I mean,
He
all
does
this
it all.
is true.
This is all true. He's a,
And now you play drums, but now you've graduated to something that is extraordinary.
Yeah.
You know, over the last, I don't know, 20 years, I've seen drum machines. And most drum machines kind of sound like drum machines. I remember when they first came on, and I saw them on Madonna albums and things, and I thought, boy, this sounds like it's out of a can. And it was boring, and you could tell it just wasn't a real drum. But you have perfected the use of this to the point where you not only sound like a drummer, you on stage you're like a drummer.
You
Thank
look
you,
like
Jason.
you are a
Thank you
drummer.
for those kind words. I practice a lot. How do you get to Carnegie Hall?
How did you happen to
Practice.
graduate to this
I've
machine?
had carpal tunnel in both hands. Been playing drums for 40 years, so I didn't want to risk it again after having operations. I also had a double slip disc, L4, 5, and 6, and I had to get operated. And they had to go through the neck to get to my back, so I had to wear a brace. And while I was wearing the brace, I couldn't play drums or anything. So I looked on the net and I found this, and it happened to come with pedals, so I could play full-on drums with my hands and my fingers. So while my neck was being occupied by this strange holding my head up kind of thing,
Yeah.
I graduated. It was a match made in heaven.
And you've never gone back?
I don't want to go back. I mean,
So you've basically, this has become your drum kit. Let's call it.
I'm the future man of Zero Gravity.
Now, the manufacturer of this piece of equipment, you mind if I mention Roland by name?
Rolling.
No, let's spell it. R-O-L-A-N-D.
Now, Roland drum machines have been around a long time,
Yes.
but I have never heard it sound like you make it sound.
And I have an amp now, so when they turn up, I can turn up.
Is
I
it?
see.
So
He
now I
needs
don't
to.
have to beat the drums as hard like I used to, and I couldn't compete because you run out of energy after a while.
Right.
You have all the Marshall amps to the left and right of you, and all you have is your physical self, and your drums are mic'd, but they're
Right.
being projected through the PA to the people, not to me. So now I have an amp. And I want the musicians to know that. I have one foot in the past and one in the future. However, you must know how to play drums before you graduate to this.
I was going to say.
You can't
this
just sit
is-
on it and start playing.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to learn how to play drums, this is not where you start.
I wouldn't think so.
No.
But
It's,
once you know how to play, I mean, it is extraordinary.
and memorize where everything is. I can put anything I want anywhere. I could put his voice here, your voice there, and then I memorize where they are. What did I say? Your voice there? Oh yeah, and your voice there.
So you can actually program this.
Oh yeah. You
Uh,
can
for
download
everything.
sounds
Dog
onto.
barks, anything. Screams. It's not in there, folks. That was me. So, go
I'm
ahead.
telling you, I thought this
John's-
was Comedy Central.
John's dying to do the gong show. Go ahead, John. Do it again?
Yeah, do
Go
that.
ahead, it's a sensor. So it's
It's the
the-
future, man.
I can put anything I want in there. I can put a woman laughing, anything I want. So when my hand goes across it, it is what it is.
And the interesting
Wow.
thing is that when we actually, he had just come off with his surgery, and when we actually recorded this record, he had only been working with this thing for less than a month, I think, basically.
Yeah.
So it's pretty impressive, actually, because he's gotten a whole lot better already on it, but still, what he did on this record is quite amazing.
It's the first CD, rock CD, ever recorded with a hand sonic.
Yeah.
To my knowledge, anyway.
And to
That's what
Roland's
this is,
knowledge,
a Roland hand sonic.
we've already talked to Roland.
Have you talked to
15.
Roland?
Yes, we have.
And I bet they're saying, well...
They're rolling on a river. We don't know what they're saying right now, but they need to see me. I've already been
Have they ever
approached.
seen you perform?
Hear me?
On DVD. I sent them a DVD of me performing this, doing a seminar. What was it?
I can't
You
remember.
showed how to
Experience,
use
what
that
do you
piece
call
of
that?
equipment?
Yes.
Sort of like a training tape for
a
other...
training tape for other
players.
people, yeah. With loops, and I showed them that I can do more than just drums. So we will go there, won't we, John?
Don't go
Wow.
there, Jose.
Don't go there, Jose. Check this out. Hear that? That's loops. Alright? Tell them what they come with, Jose. The loops come with. Now, we'll start again. But you gotta know the notes. I don't know the notes. I just play. Okay? That's the trick. It's feel the force. You know what I mean? You gotta close your eyes and just go for it. Throw all the music you know away. It means nothing.
The interesting thing about this is, though, is certainly, I mean, one of the interesting things is that because he's actually able to use 10 fingers, he's like a piano player. So he can actually play
Chords.
percussion chords that you can't do with just 2 sticks. And he can hit maybe 4 cymbals at once and things like that.
Which brings us back to, it made it very difficult for him when I did the ending of American Soldier, which is like a battle scene. And I was
American Soldier is the featured single, by the way.
featured single. We
With
did
a video on
With a
YouTube.
video on YouTube.
We're going to show you a piece of that on the end of the show here.
So what we did was, I did a drum solo. Now during my drum solo, I can hit 2 things at one time, cymbal and tom-tom. So my fingers were doing 4 or 5 things at a time, and it took him, I'm sorry, John, 5.5 hours to mix what I had done in a 4-minute song.
Well, I had to be careful because I was mixing it in a traditional manner, which, in the sense that I actually got, out of what we did, I won't get too complicated about
Sure.
it, but I got more or less the 8 tracks that you typically get out of a drum set, which is the kick drum, the snare drum, the hi-hat, 2 or 3 or 4 toms, depending on how many you do, and then 2 typically for overheads to get the whole set and all the cymbals.
So you normally take 8 separate tracks?
Typically it's
and
8
mix them?
tracks to mix the drum. You know, the big boys, they do 12, you know, it gets as
Sure.
big as you want.
Well, they have lots of extra
Right.
room on their equipment. Okay.
So, and I was seeing things that weren't really possible. I mean, from a traditional point of view. So I didn't know whether it was a mistake. Should I keep it there or erase it? So we had a bunch of discussions about it. But basically, we kept more or less all of it. There were only a few things that came out in the various tracks through all the various songs. I had to go in and edit a few things that were mistakes because of how sensitive this thing is. Sometimes you hit a tom and your finger may be very close to, for instance, a cymbal, and it's not supposed to be hitting both at the same time. So
I
you
see.
That was in the
clean up
beginning.
kind of.
Tell them the marvelous thing about it. I had an SPD6, which is only 6 pads, and I recorded 1 or 2 tracks with that. And then when I got this, we needed to replace the drums, which I had never done before. I can
Oh yeah, I
play
forgot
on,
about that.
I could play on tracks,
I forgot about that.
but you never erase the drummer to put another drummer in.
I've never heard of it before.
Typically,
So yeah, we pulled that one off. That was pretty good because this was a better sounding, and the other one, the
Normally
trigger.
people start with click track, right?
That's right.
Exactly.
And
We
then
had
they
no
add
click
drums.
track.
So you had no click track.
We
so
didn't use a click track at all. We just all plugged into his PC and in a room, bedroom recording.
Isn't that amazing where we've come?
It's crazy.
Fantastic.
Oh, the better part is, on one of the songs that I wrote, that I sang, the guitar player played his part from Montana via email.
That's right.
Well, it sounds like you'll love this. Remember Frank Sinatra? I bet you know
Yes,
that.
absolutely.
I remember that when he did that duet album,
Yeah,
Right.
with Bono
that a
and
lot of
that's
the
right.
material
Yeah.
was done at great distances over internet and
Yeah.
email. So you guys are like high tech, yet the sound that comes out is
Well, it's
very
real.
natural and real.
It's
Oh,
real, yeah, because we wanted it as real as possible with hardly any overdubs whatsoever. So what you hear is what you get from a three-piece band.
So yeah, now that's the other thing. There is a third piece to this group of Zero
Yes.
Gravity. Freddie, who sings some of the vocals.
Most of
Most of the, he is the lead singer.
Yeah.
Well, you guys sing too, though. Both
Well,
of
that's
you
right.
have excellent voices and are
Thank you.
delivering on some of the material on the album. So, but Freddie is the lead singer and lead guitar player,
Absolutely.
and you're the bass player and the drummer.
Simulated drummer. Or Robo-Tiz.
I have, this is as much of a piece of equipment as a drum set.
Absolutely.
Well, that's the thing. It's kind of a mindset. It's a little bit of a shift that you have to make. I mean, it's not any different than playing. I mean, nobody plays, or very few people play, an acoustic piano anymore in modern
Live
stages.
situation, yeah.
You know, it's hard to. I mean, Billy Joel does. The top guys do because they can afford it.
It's hard to run around that big
But
Right.
piano.
most piano sounds are all synthesized. It's all
Sampled.
So
So
the
this is
whole
no
world
different.
is all synthesized. Your bass is a real string bass?
yeah.
5-string bass.
Okay. Fine.
I'm the only oddball, I suppose, but
No.
I'm not petrified because
I have never thought of you as a simulated drummer.
animated maybe, but
Animated.
And you're just hard to control.
That's why we got him this.
Impossible.
This does control me somewhat because I have to pay attention.
Where did you get such an absolute, you are so full of joy when you're doing this. How long have you been playing? A long time.
The business does that to you. I mean, there's the music business and then there's the business of music, you see. And the other end, you don't really want to know about because you have to have your lawyers and, you have to have music lawyers, not just lawyers, but music lawyers. And it costs so much money to record and on and on. So you know what? I decided I'm going to give all that up and just have fun because you only live once. And as Frank Sinatra, you mentioned earlier, said, once is enough for me. So I'm going to have as much fun as I can because you never know. You never know what's going to happen. But we are so happy together. This is the first band I've ever been in where we're sharing songs. Not only does he bring his song and say, all right, this is the way it has to be. No one says that in this band. We let him put his personality into my songs, my personality into his songs, and Freddie's into all of ours, and we talk about it, we cleverly put the stuff together, we hash it, rehash it, until it's right, and we all feel comfortable with it.
Is that why it's the best of Zero Gravity?
It's the best of
One
Zero
of the
Gravity.
reasons, that's right.
And plus, we couldn't put the whole name in there, the best of everything we've ever heard. That's a little too long. So if you listen to it, you'll hear Boston, you'll hear AC/DC, you'll hear Led Zeppelin,
I heard Pink
Beatles,
Floyd the other day.
Pink
Somebody
Floyd
told
was
me
in
it
there.
sounds like Pink Floyd.
Frank Zappa is in there.
Before I came over, I was listening in the car again because I thought I would see what it sounded like, yet it is truly original.
Correct.
So, for all of you who long for great power rock, that's, if I was going to give it a
Plenty
general
guitar,
genre.
yeah,
Yep.
power rock.
And the other thing I thought was interesting, like you said, when you look at the album, they are behind it.
It's
I
us.
That's right.
We're in the egg.
We're in the egg.
It's
That's
not
right.
really an egg. I don't know what it is.
And we had a write-up in the Maui Times.
Oh, I know. Let's show a quick. This is the cover. See this cover? That Halloween.
The best part is, we always get signs, right? Excuse me while I leave this place.
He's leaving, he's leaving. Let's
I'm
go
not, I'm
ahead.
not really leaving, but I'm leaving
Here he comes.
anyway. All right, we had a issue, the Maui Time, that was released 2 Fridays ago,
Right.
and there was kind of a glitch on the spaceship.
That's true, they had a color bleed or something.
Something bled on the cover,
I wonder
which is
what it
great,
was.
because I told him, I says, you know what that means? It means it's getting ready to ignite and take off. So we're gonna really take off soon. And then I get these, excuse me for 1 second, folks.
He'll be back.
I get this in the mail, and it's
Oh,
2
right.
tickets. 2 tickets. So he
Two
and I are
anywhere.
going to be joining our guitar players in
2
destination,
tickets
someplace
anywhere.
wonderful, and travel date, the sooner the better.
You're set.
So there we are, folks. We're about to embark on a big journey, and we don't even know about it, but we're getting all the signs.
Yeah, we're getting all the sounds.
We're getting all the signs.
Wow.
Isn't that something? I
You
love
just
it.
have to apply for a credit card, that's all.
How have you been promoting the album as yet?
Like crazy. We were on X92.5 about 3 weeks ago with JoJo and had a blast. We played 3 of the songs off the CD, and we interviewed the guitar player called from Montana, so he was on the air as well. And what else did we do? We're doing this. This is for
right.
Akaku, or Akaku, depends on where you're from, potato, potato.
And also for all the people around the world who are now going to check out Zero Gravity because they're going to get emails from their friends in Maui.
And can we mention where you can get it?
Oh, sure.
You can get it on iTunes, MySpace, YouTube, Amazon.com, Rhapsody,
Wow,
on,
fabulous.
allmusic.com.
It's everywhere.
Yeah, it's
Napster.
everywhere. Napster, cdbaby.net or .com.
.com.
So
CD Baby?
it's on
cdbaby.com.
We sold 3 already. 3 already on cdbaby.com.
And we're getting a lot of work on.
Are there samples up there
iTunes.
that people can hear? Is that what
Yes,
it is?
yes, on iTunes.
Well,
You can
see-
download whatever you like, 99 cents.
Oh, I see.
download.
You
So-
get 30-second clips on iTunes of everything.
Right.
As you
I've never heard of CD Baby.
And there's
But,
Dig Music and All Music. There's so many right
It's
now.
everywhere. We got, we kind of got this package when we produced it, and it basically got us distributed everywhere.
Taxi.
Like that.
Well, I think it's a strong testimonial that you have little samplets out there and people say, yes, I want it. I hope that all of you are going to check this out.
I like that, the samplets.
Well,
our next
you
record.
don't have
No,
a
no.
booklet, it's a
I'm
sample.
always going further than where you want to be. It's all about fun, folks. So yeah, we're not performing at the moment, but we're hoping before the end of the year, we're going to do the CD release party at Charlie's.
Oh, good.
Because it's intimate, the sound is good there.
Yeah.
We had an excellent sound guy, I don't know who's going to run sound, but he knows plenty of other
You have
excellent sound
other
guys.
excellent sound
Yeah.
guys to
Yes.
stand there when you're up
Absolutely, on stage.
on. Right, okay.
It should be
In fact,
great.
there is a guy that actually knows the equipment maybe even better than I do, so.
Have you ever tried these songs with other players, or is it pretty well, it's a solid, big sound, and that's what comes out when you 3 are playing, right?
Yeah, no, we're not gonna go there.
John and I actually met
You're
So
powerful
we may have to,
three-piece.
but
You are a full sound
Yeah.
3-piece.
We actually met 3 years ago through one of those throw together bands,
Uh-huh.
and we just kind of felt each other out and said, hey, you want to do anything other than cover tunes and this stuff? And I said, well, I got tons of originals. And he came over and we sat in my garage and played for about 2 hours. Do you know that song? Do you know this song? Tom Petty. We did John Cougar. We did everybody. And we knew all the same songs from Roy Orbison to whatever. And just bass and drums, just like we're ended up
just like
right
we're
now.
doing that,
Bass and drums, and we clicked so well that we decided he knew this guy in Montana that left because they couldn't find a drummer. And then I came along, so we called him back, and it was instant magic
So Freddie is from Montana.
from Montana. Yeah. And we actually did some cover gigs. We went out there and played Henry's
Yeah,
and
we
played
did
the
some.
Ale House, and we even had a girl in the band for a little while. And we rehearsed here, and it was a polished band. We did Journey, but we saw it wasn't going anywhere. There were more musicians than there are venues to play here, so we decided, why waste our time doing that? Let's concentrate on the originals and try to conquer the world from here. We'll live here, and boom, conquer the world from here.
Well, that really is the way to best address living in Maui.
Yeah.
Right.
Is having the world enjoy what you do and export it.
And with the internet, it is possible now.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, we're trying
So
to
you
find
guys are right on top of everything. Now, now when I listened to it, I heard, when the first listen through, I said, well, there's so many different sounds. You know, sometimes we like to identify, you know, many of us, we like to put things in a pocket, in
Sure.
a package. But your sound, like you talked about different groups that you feel you have a lot that you
influenced
sound like,
from- Yeah.
a whole bunch of different, very popular, I just think of it as popular music, that you've been so experienced at playing and now writing pop music, that you have your own original sound, but you have the best of everybody else.
The best.
Is that what you mean?
That's what I
The
meant.
best of
Of everybody that we
everybody
ever heard.
else. That's it. And the best of your own.
You can almost
Zero
go,
gravity.
I've heard that before, but now you can't put your finger
That's
on it.
right.
Well, sometimes the best original music is stuff that, when you play it and it's brand new, and people say, "No, man, I've heard that before." And I mean, I used to play with this guy when I lived in Europe for a long time. He was a great songwriter, and he used to write music like that all the time.
It
He'd
sounded
come
like
and
somebody
demo
else.
a song to me, and I'd go, "Wait a minute," you know, like because there was just something about it that was unique yet familiar, which is I'm not sure how you
Well,
go about doing that.
There is we all remember George Harrison, and a lot of us know Phil Spector from a whole different kind of thing going on with Phil Spector.
Don't go there, Jason, don't go there.
But I mean, the controversy that happened. What was it? 3 notes? I don't know. How many
Oh,
notes.
right. My Sweet Lord? That one?
Yeah, My Sweet Lord, and She's So Fine. You know
Yeah.
how things happen. But I don't hear that in you. But I do hear that. When I listened to the first song, I immediately got and thought, Boston.
A lot of people
And then
say that.
Do they?
Yeah.
That's
And,
great. They've
they,
compared us to Weezer,
Yeah, we had
AC/DC, Joe Walsh, the song that I sang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm singing in that
Right, right.
tone. You know, get it right the first time. You know, just
And that was the first thing he had done vocally after his operation,
And
and it's through his throat. He hadn't done any singing at all, and he comes in and does that take, basically, out of nowhere.
well, they said it was going to be 1% better or 1% worse.
You know,
So you be the
I've
judge.
seen you around. I'm
Yeah.
singing. I'm at the gig and watching you guys play, and suddenly I hear some odd voice. I already have learned. Just look at Jose. It's probably Jose doing something.
I see trees and green. Can you imagine rock and roll with that voice?
Oh, you
I
know-
don't think so.
You know, it's very funny because I am going to be singing that song today.
Ah.
Great.
At
At the
someone's
wedding.
wedding. Yeah.
Great,
There you
good
go.
for you.
We should have you come down and go, no one does it like you.
Sure, I'll do Sunny Side of the Street. You can keep. What a wonderful world, man.
So
Work it
now,
out.
if I were to pick some of the songs for people to go on and really grab a look, we know that American Soldier is one of them.
Tribute to our soldiers.
How did that come about?
Well, that was Freddie's. Freddie was, I believe, he was watching a documentary about
CNN.
some of those, basically well, not just the wives, because there are some females over there too, but the better halves,
Spouses,
the
yeah.
spouses who were at home, and seeing what was going on and watching their better halves either dying or coming back,
Dismantled.
you know, whatever. And he was just completely, he was really just emotionally worked by it.
Touched and awed.
And he wrote it just merely as an emotional, sympathetic gesture to those people who were there. It's not political. Well, it's a
It's
little
not
bit
supporting. It's not supporting the war. It's just
Yeah.
thanking our soldiers for a
Well,
job
isn't
well
that-
done.
For many of us here, we may not be supporting a war, but how can we not support the soldiers?
I know, it's
Right,
like,
right.
You
it's
know.
a silly.
My son is in the National Guards, and the words are beautiful too. I know you're leaving the only place you've ever known. misleading unreasons for you to even have to go. You are the brave one. We stay behind and life goes on. We watch our TV. It tells us this is right or wrong. American soldier. I mean, it's so
It's really
beautiful.
nice. It's really nice.
touching. It's
Yeah.
very touching.
Well, I hope that, I hope that this tape, well, obviously it's going to be on the net, that all the American soldiers get to hear this and realize how much you honor them. And maybe you'll get thousands of downloads from the soldiers themselves, because we all honor them. And that's really
we
great.
do. Yes, we do.
And it was one of the tracks that really fell together in a very
Short
chemical
amount of
way.
time.
I mean,
It's
Freddie
short
brought
amount
it
of time,
out, and
too.
I think we only rehearsed it one session and recorded it the next session. It was something that was just so.
And the clock
Right.
ticking gave me the idea to do a closed snare drum, which I have on here, which is that right there.
Yeah.
The ticking of the clock. Because time's running out for those soldiers, right? You never know what's going to happen. So that was the idea. And then at the end, the battle scene where I do the drum solo, I just go wild on this thing, hitting all the cymbals and tom-toms.
Yeah, I remember Freddie saying, he said, I had to write something where Jose could just go crazy, so this is it.
Jose will go crazy.
Tasmanian devil. Just give me the ill.
Now, what I just saw here, I mean, do that again for us. I mean, it is pretty amazing for people as we're watching, because you hear a full drum. There is little that can be said. I mean, you're extraordinary.
This is just the
When I
beginning.
say you're one of the best drummers,
Thank you,
I
sir.
mean, I don't even think simulated. There's nothing simulated about it.
I'm not
If
there
you
yet.
didn't know what you were doing as a drummer,
No.
you wouldn't be able to do that.
Well, I'll
That's
work on it.
fantastic.
I'll work on not being able to do that.
How can I get out of this? No, the main thing is to remain humble. Remain humble.
Well-
I don't care how great you are on this island. We're all in this together, which is one of our
One of our-
songs. We're all in this together, and we should be able to cooperate with each other and not put each other down or have egos or whatever. I've done so much out there, but it has nothing to do with here. That's why John and I decided, we need to put something together that we're going to enjoy, something that we're going to be proud of. And this is just so perfect. I am so proud of this band. And Freddie has come a long way. He's never written a song ever. Did I mention that part? I mean, this is
Wow.
the first album where he wrote 8 songs or something?
Yeah.
About 8 songs in a year.
Wow.
Yeah, I have tons of songs. They don't all fit this band. I have jazz, I have funk, disco, whatever, pop. But we went through about 20 of my songs to pick the 2 that they picked from me on here. Win or Die Trying and Get It Right. And then John happened to write 3, and he sang all 3 of them.
Which ones are yours?
Yeah, he did.
Ernest Goes to Hell, Rihanna Declaré, and
That
Table for
Declaré.
One.
And my favorite is, all of them really, because they're so unique. But Rihanna Declaré, my 3.5-year-old grandson, loves that song. Loves singing that song. And children don't lie. When they hear that he loves American Soldier, Rihanna Declaré, he loves The Forsaken, and he loves Win or Die Trying. Those are his favorite 4 songs out of 11 songs. 3.5-year-old boy.
And he sings them too, right?
He sings them. Top of his voice.
Wow.
Yeah.
He plays the hand sonic as well. He can't reach the pedals yet though, but
It's amazing.
it's a start. 3.5. I started at 5, so we'll see.
Did you really?
Yeah, playing percussion. My mother used to take me to Spanish dances, and I was way too short to play the congas, but I knew I could mimic the conga player, so they put me up on these crates, and the guys would laugh at me until they heard me do what they were doing. At 5 years old, doing conga licks, I mean, it's pretty hard to do for a kid, but
It is.
I knew that I've had that ability to mimic. That's why I don't read music, because I can look at someone and go, okay, get off the stage, I'll do what you just did.
Oh, yeah.
Because my mind just photographs and just picks up 1 or 2 takes, that's it. After 2 takes,
It's almost something that you have to have as a drummer.
you have to have it built in.
I mean, just about everybody else on stage can mess up and get away with it. Drummers can't really mess up.
No, they're the timekeepers. They have to be right on cue. They have to memorize. Even though they're not playing chords, they have to memorize where the song is going, where it is, and where it ends. Beginning and endings, you gotta have that. I mean, that's a must. And you have to have some mathematical skills as well. Because it's always music. You know, it's timing, 6/8, 7/8, 4/4 time, that kind of stuff.
And all kinds of odd key signatures. But there's this rhythm inside, and you have to be the one to keep it.
But the main
Because
thing,
everyone's listening to you, aren't you?
Right.
the
You
main
rely
thing
on
is
the
dynamics.
It's the heartbeat.
Yeah, he's the quarterback, as you can call me the quarterback, you know. And then when the singer sings, he's got the spotlight, so everyone else should back him up. That's why they call it band or group. You know, if the football players decided to call their own plays, I don't think they'd get very far, would they?
No, we see that happen. Egos get in the way.
They do get in the way. So it's a matter of knowing who you are. And you don't have to really prove anything to
And
anybody.
who are you now?
Yeah, who are you now? That's one of our songs. You don't have to prove anything to anybody, as long as you know who you are, and the guy next to you knows who you are, and he knows who he is, and we are as a group. I wouldn't be able to say that again if you paid me, okay? So
We ain't paying.
we ain't paying.
The one thing,
money here.
I got
the one
money
thing that to me
here.
is interesting is,
Who you are.
you know, this is a music project, and in the past, when I've had musical groups on, we had them often playing, and in honor of Freddie, who's not here, and you're not playing, but you guys are such terrific personalities, and have such life to you. This is the kind of group, you know, sometimes you see people playing on stage, and when they're not playing music, you know, they're sort of like cardboard. There's not a lot of substance to them.
Right.
But you guys are great people and personalities, and it's really a pleasure to be here with you as
Thank you.
people.
Thank you.
And knowing that you do music is like a bonus, because it's just a wonderful time with two great people.
You gotta stay grounded. You know, I've been married 40 years, and that pretty much grounds me.
40 years, you're really grounded.
Yeah, I'm 106. I look well. This is living in
40
Hawaii.
years of marriage is a real great testament to
It is.
your, what is it? First of all, to your love and to your commitment. And that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, music's just a side hobby, in case some of the musicians are wondering. No, I don't practice every day, Hector. Just kidding. Hector asked me, how many hours a day do you practice? I said, are you sitting down, Hector? I don't.
Well, you
Because
know,
I did in my younger days, so I figured it would last a lifetime. No, I'm just kidding! I do have to practice. I try to do it an
We all
hour a day.
practice.
An hour a day to keep myself at least.
Are you guys still writing new material?
We are actually. We
We
just
have a
came
new
up
song.
with 2 new songs actually.
We did a commercial, number one.
Yeah, we just did a commercial.
5 minutes. We did. He and I wrote here a commercial for who was it now?
The True Wealth
The
Group.
True Wealth. Group.
True Wealth, moments of opportunity.
We wrote that here in about 5 minutes.
Are they a local?
Yeah,
thing?
Yeah.
it's a local.
It's on the radio right now.
Yeah,
It was our first foot in the door for commercial.
it's the
Projects.
evolution of this place in Kihei called the Mortgage Store. They're now called the True Wealth Group, and
Right, right.
they do financial
Oh, I know, I understand.
consulting.
Oh, I know them, in fact. I
Do you-
knew them in their older...
George Lindell
incarnation.
and that group.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Very good
It's
people.
real
And
estate as
Really?
well.
I'm a real estate
Oh, that's
mortgage
right, of course.
kind of guy.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah. You see, this is my passion. You know, that stuff is all great, but this is where my heart is at.
Music is, and you have a great voice as well, you know. And I
Thank
want to
you.
use you in one of my songs, and I picked a song. I went through like my hundreds of
You
songs
did?
I have, and I have a song. It's called "I'm Here."
Okay.
I'm here, and you are here.
Rain check.
And he's here.
He's got the built-in
How convenient.
graspiness there.
It does,
like
it's
one
true.
dies
It's
for
true.
it, you know. Rod Stewart has it. Michael
Yeah.
McDonald has it.
Yeah,
Michael
it's-
Bolton has it. I think he has a little too much of it, though. I mean,
Yeah.
it's close to being constipated.
But that's
No,
sort of
no,
a-
just kidding, just kidding, Michael. I'm just kidding. I mean, the guy sings not from the heart, not from the buttocks, but the other place, you know, the private part group. a new genre called crotch rock. I don't know if you have to beep that word out, but crotch rock is good because Michael Bolton sings from there.
We have no beep, it's there.
I don't want to bring him to the schools though to sing Mary Had a Little Lamb because you imagine Mary Had a I mean, guys, just like he'll kill you.
That's right. That was supposed to be a lullaby.
Everything he does is just like so intense.
It's true.
It really is. But you have that in your voice, and I want to use that on one of my songs because I can imitate a lot of people, but rasp has to be built in.
See, I knew I couldn't be replaced.
I couldn't be
We
replaced.
could put you in here.
We wrote a song.
Oh, that's right. You can sample me, couldn't
We
you?
can sample you. That's right. And then we can splice you and edit you and what's the other words?
And double track you.
Double track you, and we can in sync you and quantize you. We can quantize, baby. You know, quantize, baby. Anyway, we can do a lot of things. But last week we were so in tune, John and I, rehearsing our songs for our tour. That's going to be called the Farewell Tour, by the way.
Then we're gonna break up and get back together.
Right.
You know.
And then we'll do the tour you'll never ever thought you'd see again.
Then our next record's gonna be called The Singles.
Of course. We have it all planned out.
We figure we do, you know, get all of the publicity stuff out of the way first.
Where most
And then-
bands end, we're starting there. The best of, the very best of, the essential.
And that way, when we get famous, nobody can just do the best of. They
Have
can't-
you been seen or been shown to any of our promoters around here? I mean,
Are
I'm
there
thinking,
any?
you know, like when you say, it's really
Tom
been-
Moffat?
There
Is
are
there people
actually
like
a
that?
few.
I've had a couple approach me, so I hope you'll allow me to share
Absolutely.
with them about you.
Sure.
Okay.
Spread the love.
Yeah.
Well, the
And
song
I
we-
hope that all of you out there will share it, no matter if you're here on Maui or, gosh, that Maine island,
Oh yeah.
or anywhere in the world. Because your sound is really, like I say, it is unique yet familiar, and it's the personalities, to me, behind it that make this show really worthwhile. Because it's really difficult to show music on television. So what we're showing now is,
I'm telling you.
you know, what we call it, behind the music.
Behind the music.
That's
Love
right.
it.
I mean, this is really what it's about. It's the people that do it and all the love and passion that you put into it. It shows. And I hope that all of you will take the time to check out Zero Gravity. XERO-GRAVITY.
XER0.
Zero.
So when you put it in the end, you have to put
XER, the number zero.
If you put XERO, do you find it?
You'll find someone else.
Yeah, someone else.
So we're gonna have to fix their what do we call those? Meta tags. So no
There you
matter
go.
what you put in, you'll find them. This is a new age here. You have to
It's true.
you have to sort of visualize what mistakes people will make and put those
That's
in
right.
also.
Correct.
And
Did you
redirect
mean-
them.
I love
Isn't
it.
that funny?
They say that to you. Did you mean?
Did you mean?
Oh, right, it does that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It does it all the time.
That's right.
Go, no, I didn't mean that. What would give you that idea? Talk to me, computer. Talk to me.
Do what I mean, not what I said.
Yeah, do what I mean. I put it in. Figure it out.
I would like to, you know, because time is running on. Believe it or not, we've been on a while.
Wow.
60 minutes? Okay, folks. We really enjoyed being here, and that's
It has really been a pleasure, and I hope that two things. One, I look forward to having your success grow, and
As do we.
may we have another show where we'll share about some of that success
Great.
and your new material as it's coming on.
and Freddie when he
I was
comes
going to
back.
say that was the
Yes.
other thing. When Freddie comes back, we're going to have another show and put it all together. And also, hopefully, you'll let us record some of your live performance, so we can put some snippets on for
That
these
would be
guys.
fun. Yeah.
Will you allow me to put a piece of American Soldier on here
Sure.
for them?
Sure.
You
Absolutely.
guys are going to get a treat. But also, I want you to go up to, what is it, iTunes? Crybaby?
iTunes? Crybaby.
What was it? What?
I like that. CDbaby.
C- oh,
No,
CD
.com.
Baby.
.com.
Wait, but iTunes will do it too.
iTunes, CD Baby, Amazon.com,
MySpace,
Rhapsody,
Zero Gravity,
Napster,
yeah.
All Music, Dig Music. They're just all out there.
Wow.
So
You-
much
you
stuff.
probably
Paxton.
can if
Well,
you just
remember the
type
old
in-
days there were stores?
Yeah, well, you can get them there too. Actually,
I mean, but it's amazing when you walk into a store.
you can go to any
it's like
store.
but you can get that all that stuff now as good, if not, I can't say better, but as good a quality over the internet and download it right into your little
iPod.
personal piece of listening device.
iPod, UPod, Ayatollah,
I oughta. No, but you can get the physical CD too at any shop. You go to Walmart, you go to Barnes and Noble, any of these places.
Borders.
Borders. You can. It won't be on the shelves, but you can ask for it and they'll get it for you.
I see.
So it is actually physically distributed. Also.
What if you're in Missouri?
Same thing. Anywhere in the world.
If you're in
You
misery,
hear that?
what?
Anywhere
in the
guys?
world.
If you're in misery, anywhere in the world. These guys
It's like
are hard
that
to
family.
It's
control.
like Jabrip, Kansas. I went there once.
What was it?
Jabrip, Kansas.
Jabrip? Come on. These guys are out of control.
I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere. It's a Segway. What is a Segway? I taken a Segway in New York City. Haven't you taken a Segway?
No, it's
That's a
it's a
Subway.
personal transporter.
Subway? I thought that was a
It's
sandwich.
the same.
I must tell you, when you go out and see these guys anywhere,
We'll be serious.
there is not a quiet moment. If you hear something like, you wonder, what was that? That was an elephant?
Who else have you seen do a dolphin, huh?
I swim like a dolphin. Somebody told me that.
Dolphin Street.
You do an eagle?
No.
Who's the
Sorry.
one that did an eagle? Steve
I can
Miller?
do
Fly like an eagle.
Yeah, it's true. Oh, that's true.
this one, ready for the first shot. Don't get to him alive. Yeah, the built-in costume.
Oh, that was your Yoda.
That's my Yoda.
Hi, Yoda.
Hi, Yoda. He does yoga. And I do Yoda.
Ayatollah, stop talking.
Ayatollah. Ay, ay, ay.
Well, it has really been a great fun time. Hasn't it been fun?
Should we shake hands on
With these
film?
guys, we'll shake hands.
One of those buzzards.
Zero Gravity, Jose Ortiz, John Messersmith, and Freddie Turk.
That's right.
Yes.
So we look forward to having all of you check back with us and with them about what you think about the album. I used to say record. They don't know what records
I don't
are.
know what they say now.
They
What do
say
they
albums,
say?
records.
Album.
Burn one.
Yeah.
Burn me one.
Burn me one.
Burn me one.
That's
Burn,
got many
baby, burn me
definitions.
one.
Yeah, right.
We do have a website as well. So
Well, yeah,
They wanna go to-
zerogravity.com.
XER0GRAVITY.com.
All one word.
all one
And that gets you everything.
that gets you everything. The
All
whole
the
package.
links to wherever you want to go are there too.
Just like that.
Wow.
Again? Just like that.
Just like that. Thank you so very much for joining us. We are going to now play a little piece of American Soldier. And we really appreciate that you stuck with us. It's hard to leave. I mean, these guys are like non-stop comedy.
We're glued.
What are we doing?
Detach us.
Thank you all for joining us. We'll see you again.
Looking for the switch.
I'm looking for this switch.
Aloha.
Aloha, folks. Perfect. We ran out of film just in time.
Did you see that? Yeah, that's the thing.
I see it.
Did it really?
Yeah, look at it.
Oh.
It's blinking in my
Perfect
face.
time.
Yeah.
Oh, someone's put a logo over my face.
Oh, that's
Zero.
What is
That's
that?
our
Oh, sure.
the Geico
This
commercial. We brought a little. Oh, my bottle's all steam.
It runs shivers down my bottle. Just like making pancakes. She sounded more like the cook. Who was the cook?
Oh, Julia Childs.
Julia Childs,
She
yeah.
sounded more like her.
You know, there was something that said Julia Childs was a spy in World War II.
Oh, you really?
Isn't
Oh,
that
that's
interesting?
awesome.
Probably ex-wife of Joseph Mengele. Who knows?
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
yeah. I thought that was interesting. You know, they were sharing that
Where did you read that or hear that?
I don't remember where it was, but they were naming people that were actually double agents during the Second World War.
Wow.
And there was Julia Child.
Surprised me at all.
Who was the lady who
Really
played
doesn't.
All in the Family?
Oh,
Edith?
Edith.
Oh, yeah, uh-huh.
She did a thing off, and she did it just like her, but she was drinking while she was facing the
She's an
turkey stuff.
incredible actress.
She was hysterical. Watch. And then I put a little bit of this, and she grabbed the bottle, and then you put some more stuffing in the pan.
Archie!
Yeah. Edith Bunker.
Well, you
was-
remember the famous Dan Aykroyd
Oh, yeah.
sketch. I mean, that's
Well, the cheeseburger one, him and
Belushi.
Belushi, man, the cheeseburger,
Oh,
hamburger,
right.
cheeseburger, 2
Cheeseburger.
fries, no Pepsi, Coke.
Does this sound like we're doing
You know what
music?
that's what it's.
This is a musical group, guys.
The best, they sound like Who's on First. That's that whole skit all over
Abbott
again.
Costello. God. Well, thank you for joining us. That's a wrap.
That's a wrap. That's a wrap. Ha y'all. Banzai.
Aloha.
oh.
See you
What do you
tomorrow.
have to roll? One-handed roll.